Hey guys, this is Broke to Beast, where we make videos about how to start your own business online or offline, as well as follow along my own journey. Today, I'm going to tell you about a few lessons I've learned while flipping phones. Before we start, if you like entrepreneurship and business content, make sure you go down below and subscribe because we release videos every day. When I started flipping phones, I always thought about what models could I flip, which smartphones would get me the most profit. But I never thought about iPads or tablets. But then one day, I was searching for deals in the local website in my country, and I saw this iPad, and it was priced at around 110 euros. And I saw in some Facebook groups where people were selling their iPads for around 180, even 200 to 120 euros. So I saw a very specific difference in market, and I decided to try out to buy an iPad. So I contacted around 15 people to try to lower their prices so I could buy their iPad, and finally I got a deal. I got an iPad 2 for 64 gigabytes for 120 euros. I got it sent to me by post, and it arrived after around 2 to 3 days. As soon as it arrived in my house, I opened the package. I was really excited. So I just cleaned the iPad. I took some nice photos and I posted in Facebook groups online. And this was around 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning because I like to work really late. And the next day, incredibly, I woke up at around 12 noon, and I went to see my Facebook messages, and I saw around 6 to 7 people interested in buying my iPad. My iPad 2 for 64 gigabytes, and I was selling it at 180 euros. I got 7 messages after 12 hours, even less than 12 hours. That really showed me that I could actually make money with this type of model, with this business model. From then on, I've bought a ton of iPads. I bought other iPad 2s with 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes. I bought iPads with broken screens. We can talk about that later, how you can fix the screen really cheaply. The actual LCD of the iPad is really expensive, but the cover of the iPad is really cheap to replace, and you can do it manually, which we just gotta be careful. I bought iPad 3s, I've bought iPad 4s, I've bought all kinds of iPads. The only ones I haven't bought yet are the newer versions like the iPad 5, the iPad Pro, or iPad minis. I gotta get into that as well. That was the first lesson, that I should also think about going into iPads or other accessories, and that's what I'm doing right now. The second lesson I learned is never trust anyone in this business, only trust yourself. Because I had this guy, I put some ads on Facebook saying that I was buying phones, and I had this guy that said I have 2 iPhone 7s with broken screens, but they're good, they're working, no iCloud locked, nothing. So I said, okay, let's meet up and let's see, and maybe I'll buy one of you, because I was still in the beginning, so I didn't want to put a lot of money down. We agreed on a price which was 300 euros, which for here is actually pretty good. If you switch the screen, you can actually make a good profit. You can sell it for around, I thought at the moment I could sell it for around 420, but clearly not, because, well, I'll tell you in a second. And so I met up with this guy near a church and near my house, and we were talking, and he showed me the phones. He had one iPhone 7 Gold, 32 gigabytes, with a broken screen, but with the box and charger and the cable, and no iCloud lock. And then he had a black one, which was in the same condition basically. So after checking the email, I told him, okay, I'll buy your iPhone 7 Gold, and then let's see if it works out. Maybe I'll buy your second iPhone. And so that's what I did. I gave him 300 euros and I got the iPhone 7 Gold. After a few weeks, I believe I've sold it. I realized that it wasn't a great bargain, but I got somebody to buy it for me for 350 euros. So I made around 50 euros of profit, which is not bad, and I got my money back. So that's as also taught me that maybe I shouldn't go into broken screens, or maybe I should go into broken screens but try to replace the screen first and then sell the phone intact. Anyways, a few days later, the same guy contacted me. I had forgotten about him, but he contacted me and he said, hey, I have the second iPhone black, this iPhone 7 matte black, and I really have to sell it because I need some money now. And I said, okay, but I can't do it today because I'm really busy because I had a lot of clients. And he said, but I really need the money today. And I said, okay. I used the fact that he needed money. This is like the negotiating tips, I guess. The fact he needed money. So I said, okay. But I can only buy it for 250 euros. So I had a 50%, a 50 euro discount. So it was basically the same as the other iPhone Golden, but I had it for 50 euros less, which would be a great profit if I sold it for 350, like the other one. So I said, okay, let's meet up. So I met up with him, and I don't know, the vibes, the atmosphere was a little different, but I don't know what happened. But so first, he had brought only the phone. He forgot the box and the cable, which I knew he had. So his friend went into the car. We waited like for 15 minutes, and he brought back the box. Second thing, his iCloud was still on, but it was his account. I knew because it was his name, his email, everything. And he tried to take it off, but he said he didn't remember the password. So I said, okay, I'll just contact you later, and we'll try to figure it out while you're at home by message. You'll tell me, I'll tell the phone to send a message to your phone number, and you'll tell me the code so I can take the iCloud off. Well, that's where I effed up big time, because I will never do that again. I will never trust somebody, even if I think they're good people. Turns out, I get home, I try to contact him to get the iCloud out, and he never answers, basically. He sees the message, he never fucking answers. And it really pissed me off, because it was a lot of my initial investment money. It was 250 euros, and it's not a joke. I mean, in the beginning, especially, I didn't have a job, so I was still hustling, and it would hurt me a lot if I would lose like 250. Like right there and then, without being able to make a profit or even get my money back. So I keep answering, messaging him to help me uninstall. I also added his girlfriend on Facebook to try to text her. She didn't answer me. I called all his numbers on his phone, his parents, everything, but they said he would call me. He didn't call me. And yeah, that's what happened. So I got stuck with a phone that was supposed to be worth maybe 100 euros top, and I paid 250 for it. And it really sucked. But it was a big lesson that I learned, that never trust anybody. Always have the phone ready to sell when you pick it up from somebody. And go with your gut. Basically, go with your gut. If you feel like something's is not right, just you have a ton of other deals you can go with. You don't have to follow that one deal just because it looks good. If it's too good to be true, then it's not. Now, the third lesson I've learned is about the price difference between the Portuguese market and the rest of the Europe market, more specifically the UK market. So in the beginning, I was selling phones. I was buying here, deals from Portugal, and I was trying to sell it on eBay.uk, which meant that I would have to find deals here in Portugal that were cheaper than the average selling price on eBay. Problem is that most people, when they heard my offer for eBay prices, reselling prices, they got really mad, or they never messaged me back, or very rarely, like even if they needed money, they would not accept it because it was too low. And I could see that it was too low because I was getting a lot of no's. Then I figured out, wait a second, what if I could do the reverse? So I was trying to see what price, for example, an iPhone 5S would sell here in Portugal, well sold, at a good price. I would say around 170, 180 euros, if you have a shop and all those things. So I went on eBay to search, and I saw a ton of deals that were even like 100 euros, 110, 120 euros. So I was thinking, why don't I do the reverse? I'll just buy from eBay and ship it to Portugal, and then I'll sell it here in Portugal locally. That's what I did. That's what I'm doing right now. I searched for companies on eBay that are doing refurbished phones, are selling refurbished phones, and I ordered my first iPhone 5. Got here and I got really excited because I thought, wow, this is actually pretty good. The only problem with the phone was that the battery was really bad, so I had to switch it. But even then, I could make a profit. I paid around 105 for it. The batteries, like all switched up and everything, is 120. So I would make 60 profit. And I sold the phone and I made profit. So this is what I'm doing now. As soon as I have a client that's interested, I'm buying the phone in the UK, shipping it here, and then selling it to the customer, which is really, I think at least it's a really good idea, because it just uses the fact that the markets have different prices. The fourth and final lesson is the selling point for the customer. So how could I establish a different kind of relationship with a customer so I could incentivize him to buy my phone, even for a greater price, a smaller greater price, but buy it with me instead of somebody else who has a used phone. So I thought about what made people actually trust more the selling process, or the seller basically, and I thought about shops. Basically shops, they have a specific place, they have a physical space, which means you can actually scam people, because if you scam, you go out of business. Sooner or later you're going to go out of business. So I started thinking, how could I make a warranty? Because major shops usually have warranties for 6 to 12 months, even used phones warranties. So that's what I thought. I should make a warranty, create my own brand. So I created a Facebook page. I do warranties. So basically when people buy my phone, in the ad, I'm saying that I sell it with warranties, 6-month warranties. And if the phone goes wrong in terms of its use, I can switch it with no charge. Only if the person breaks it, that's not it's not included. So if you let it fall on the floor, it's not included. So yeah, I made a document, I printed the document. I would put, every time I sold a phone, I would write the details of the person and the details of the phone and what condition and all that. I would sign it, and as soon as I shipped it, I would ship it with that document. So people could actually, if something goes wrong in those 6 months, people can actually message me, and I would switch the part for the phone. And that actually got me a lot more people seriously interested in my brand and having the phones. Basically higher income people that could actually buy my phones for the price that I was selling at. Anyways, these are a few lessons I've learned since the beginning that I started flipping phones. Let me know if this helped you, and make sure you go down below and subscribe and leave a comment and a like, and tell me, like, how's your journey going. I'm interested to know how are you guys going in your own country, if you're in the US. What kind of problems are you having? And just leave it in the comments below so maybe I can help you out. Anyways, peace guys, and see you next time.